Hello, 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 and welcome to our 12-week kickoff. Woo, woo, woo! Of the year of you. Listen, I am so excited for you. I am so excited to take this journey with you. I am so excited that you have said yes, yes, yes to your dreams. You have said yes, yes, yes to your life. You have said yes, yes, yes to 2018 being the best year that you have ever had. And I'm giving you a round of applause. Woo, 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 woo. I'm going to be cheering you on. I'm going to be cheering you on this journey. I want you to cheer for yourself because I'm telling you, this is going to be an amazing ride. You are going to discover so many things about yourself over the course of the next 12 weeks. And I am going to help lead you and guide you there. So I have to give you a few housekeeping rules before we get deep into our segment on today. I have sent everyone over what to expect in the coaching program. I want you to take some time to read over that because this coaching segment, 12 weeks, is a two-way street. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you the information that you need, but you are required to hone in and do your homework. You are required to show up expecting things to shift in your life. We are going to deal with in our first segments about our mindset. Because I find out a lot of times we say that we want to do better, but we have not set our mind or our intentions to do better. But I tell you what, now that you are in the company of people, of other women that want to see you succeed, you are going to see the shift in your life. So go ahead and take some time to read that document that was sent to you via email. Every week, these segments that we have are going to be recorded. They will be recorded for you to listen to at any time. You should be able to go back and re-listen to things to make sure that you did not miss anything. I may be going a little fast sometimes, and that's because we have a lot of information to get out over the course of the 12 weeks. So take the time to make sure that you listen to the recordings. Also, make sure that you do your homework. At the end of every segment, you will receive a link with the presentation as well as your homework assignment. I expect you to have your homework assignment completed each week. I will be following up with you on that homework assignment, and I also want you to send me copies of that completed homework assignment. We have to be accountable to each other in 2018, in this season of life. Accountability is everything. So make sure you keep up. I want to see you win. So in order to see you win, I have to make sure I stay on top of you, right? So thank you again for joining. Thank you again for believing in the vision. Thank you again for deciding that you are going to do something different in 2018. So this is the year of you. What exactly is the year of you? I'm sure you're probably asking yourself. The year of you is that you are finally deciding to put you first. You are finally deciding to live the life of your dreams. You're finally deciding to stop making excuses, stop going along with the self-sabotage, stop procrastinating. You are making a decision to go full force in the goals and the plans and the purpose for your life. And don't worry about not knowing what your purpose is, right? Because I know that everyone is coming in on this program on different levels. We have some people that have already discovered what they are supposed to be doing. So they're looking to get direction to find their audience. They're looking for direction to find out how to create consistent revenue. They are looking for direction in order to know how to create products. And then I have some of you that are just starting. You don't know what your purpose is right now. You're working a full-time job. You want to know, you know that you are going to transition out of it, but you have no idea what you should be doing. No problem. No matter where you're coming in, there is a place for you in this program. Okay, so let's get started. I like to talk about my favorite verse, and that's Proverbs 31:25. She laughs without fear of the future. Can you repeat that after me? She laughs without fear of the future. So we talk about being fearless around here. We talk about being excited. We talk about going after your goals and not being intimidated by what it looks like. So I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. Most of this session is going to be about who you are, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about who I am and why I am qualified to do what I do. Okay, so most of you know that I am a mother of 3. I have my 3 little ones. That's Kai, that's Winter, and that's CJ. They are 7, 5, and 9, and I absolutely have my hands full, but I would not trade being a mother for anything in the world. They have taught me so much about myself. They have taught me what I've been actually called to do, so I'm so thankful that these 3 little ones came in. When I said I was not going to have any children, they came in and they rocked my world. That in the corner to the left is my husband, Christopher Walton. We have been married for 15 years. And within those 15 years, we have grown to all of these different areas that you see: the Mommy and Me Dream Bigger Tour, the Power Moms, Divinely Inspired Events, Millionaire Mommy Society, and of course, my consulting agency, Sherry Walton. We have been together through all of this. 15 years of marital bliss. Well, not always marital bliss, but that's the story we're sticking with. And we have grown and we've really matured. So I'm so thankful to have a supportive husband, supportive children that allow me to do what I do. So I'm a wife, mom, I'm a speaker, I'm a business consultant, I'm a life coach, I'm an event planner, I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I'm a child of God. So that's a little bit about who I am. So my story, everyone has a story, right? Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. So my story is that my family and I, we went through a transition where I have been in business for over 15 years. And throughout that time span, I took a lot of losses. And when I say a lot of losses, I mean a lot of losses, to the point where we did not have a place to stay. We were homeless. We lived in the in-town suites. There were times we did not have any money for hotels, so we ended up sleeping in our car with our kids. We ate at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. I had no idea that they had food until I had lost everything. So we went through a really, really rough time, but it seemed rough on paper, right? Every story seems rough when you're going through it. But the amazing part of it is I was able to find my purpose while I did not have a place to stay. I was able to hone into myself, because in those particular moments, while I was going through that, I really got a chance to find out what I was made of. So we're going to be talking a little bit throughout this 12 weeks about your story, because it's your story that's going to allow you to connect with your audience. And how do you tell your story in order to get people drawn in? There are people that will connect to you just because of where you've been, because you are going to help them get to the next level. So my story is so important. I used to be ashamed of my story. I did not want anybody to know that my family and I had gone through all of this craziness for over a year. Over a year we went through this. But you know what? Now I wear my story so proudly. So I'm going to teach you how to share your story no matter what you've been through. Okay. So as we're going through this, and I hope you can still hear me, because my headphone system is going out here. So I'm hoping you can still hear me, but we'll go back and check through. So this is my story. I want to hear your story. So throughout this story, I was depressed. I was broken, failure, disappointed, lonely, whatever you name it, I went through it. And it was a hard time, like I said, mentioned in the previous slide, but I got through it. We all get through hard times, right? So a lot of women find themselves in this area. And you find yourselves in this area because you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing, or you have allowed your circumstances of life to keep you so boggled down that you're not able to see the light of day. But I'm going to teach you about the attitude of gratitude and how the attitude of gratitude turns your life around. So we're going to be doing this activity. You'll be getting a copy of this in your segment for you to do as homework, because I want to find out your story. where does it start and where is it going? And it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, right? So I started pretty decent. I went through this mapping, and that I'm going to be giving to you all, because I realized that through that brokenness that I talked about in the previous slide, I had no idea who I was anymore. Life situations had gotten me so depressed, so down, that I forgot how amazing I was. And that's why I'm so honored that you all have joined up with me, because I want to show you how amazing you are. And maybe you think that you're hot stuff already, but some of us had to go through these things to find out how amazing we are, because I can guarantee you're a woman just like me. You go through emotional times. Some days you're happy, some days you're sad, some days you're up, some days you're down. So because of that, we have to do these roadmaps. So I started out with a really good home, mother and father, who are still married to this day. I was on honor roll as a student. I did pretty good. My parents really pushed education when I was growing up. I made the varsity cheerleading team at I believe I was about 15 years old, which was amazing. Woo, woo, woo. And that's why I have this excitement in my voice, because it's something about being a cheerleader. I cannot let it go. So I was on the varsity cheerleader, and I made the varsity cheerleading team as a sophomore in high school, but you were supposed to be a senior or a junior or a senior in high school, but I was blessed to make the varsity in the 10th grade. So that was my first wow, I can do it moment, because I had to work so hard to compete with women and compete with those girls that had been cheering all their lives. And this was my first time trying out for being a cheerleader. First time, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to jump, split, cartwheel. Oh my God, my parents, my dad, my mom, they taught me how to do everything that I needed to do. I made the team. Went on to be drama club, and then I was senior class president when I was 17 years old. And it's amazing, because I literally forgot all about this. I forgot about the leadership qualities that were a part of my life when I was a young girl, because as we go a little bit further into my map, you'll start to see that things started to, go downhill. So because of that, I really forgot who I was. So I was senior class president. And then on top of that, check this out. I gave my first speech at my high school graduation in front of, I think it was like 2,500, 3,000 people. We went to a really large school. Gave my first speech. I wrote my first speech. And oh my God, to standing ovation at 17 years old. But I'm telling you, I forgot all about that. All about those days and those years that I was speaking. Went on to college. I used to travel as an actress. Then I got married. And then you see how it goes from that blue, then it goes down to that green, and then we say loss. Marriage was not a loss, but I went through some really heavy trials. My first financial woes started as a married woman, and my husband lost his job within the first few months of us being married. He was an executive at one of the local hospitals, and we were solid. We were set. He loses his job with no warning. We have no savings, because we just spent everything on this just immaculate wedding, right? And so now we find ourselves trying to figure out, how are we going to make ends meet? Ends never meet, by the way. So we didn't have any kids at the time. So I did what I do. I got a job as a temp. I was another thing that I had forgotten about once I started going through life struggles and difficulties. I was able to talk myself within less than 3 years' time from a temporary position into a corner office. Into a corner office. And I was able to negotiate from about $18,000 a year to over 50 some odd $1,000 plus bonuses, right? Woo, 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 kudos for the youngest Black insurance broker within 3 years' time. I want to hear your story, guys. I'm going to be sending this chart over to you all, because I want you to fill this out. We're going to map our highs and our lows. After we went through that achievement, I left that job to start my full-time business. I had a baby in the process, had some business success, did a lot of celebrity events and traveling around, doing some amazing things. My business was put on the map, was featured in a few things. And then I had another loss. So we say loss. That was a big loss. So that loss transitioned me from Miami to Houston. And within that loss, that was about a 2 to 3 year time span of just, oh my God, every creditor calling, Mercedes-Benz being repossessed, losing our place. Oh, we lost everything. And it was because I didn't make a lot of wise decisions that we're going to be talking about as we go through the course of this program. Honestly, if you have more money going out than you have going in, you have a financial crisis. I was in a financial crisis. Moved to Houston. We had picked up in our spirit that it was time for our family to move, relocate. We moved to a new place, new things, starting all over from scratch. I never wanted anybody to find me again. I had said, leave me alone. I want to fall off the face of the earth. I'm just going to have if I'm just going to have these 3 kids and this husband, and I'm not going to do any more business. I'm not going to do anything. I got a job for like 5 months. It was like literally 5 months. But then that time I discovered my purpose. And how I discovered my purpose is people kept reaching out to me to help them with things. They kept reaching out like, oh my gosh, you have such an amazing family. How do you do it? How do you keep it together? How do you balance your children and life? And how do you do that? And they started like pulling on me. And that's how I discovered my purpose. The things that I kept being called to do over time showed me the path of where I should be going. So I launched my Millionaire Mommy Society. I launched the Mommy and Me Dream Bigger tour, which I believe a lot of you all have met me through that tour. And that stepped out on faith on that tour. I did not have it together. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just walked in obedience. So I want to hear about you. This is my story. This is my path. There are a lot of things, obviously, that, you're feeling in the process, a lot of growth, a lot of maturity. But what does your life map look like? I'm going to send this over to you, and I want you all to fill it out for me. I want you to send it back to me because this is going to help me know a little bit about you. What were the highs? What were the lows? What were the setbacks? And what did you learn about yourself in the process? This map is so, so key. So if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. I love that African proverb because it talks a lot about the self-sabotage. So we're going to be dealing with this first week about mindsets and our actions, because a lot of people deal with their mindsets and they talk about saying positive affirmations and their faith confessions, and they talk about, maybe they may listen to some positive teaching and that sort of thing, but then they don't actually make any changes. Because it's one thing to actually consume the information, it's another thing to actually apply the information. So I'm going to be taking you from just consuming it, hearing a lot of great things and not doing anything, to actually putting it to action, Repeat after me. I will put everything I learn into action. I will put everything that I learn into action. This season of your life, you have to activate. It's great to hear it, but let's move it. Okay, so the old me versus the new me. We're going to talk about the old me versus the new me. So the old me was fearful, a complainer. Oh my God, complained about everything. Everything was always wrong. Stingy. Oh, I did not like to give. I did not like mine. A closed fist, right? I was selfish. I lacked discipline. That is something that's very huge, because you cannot do anything in life successfully if you lack discipline. So the new me had to become fearless, thankful. I have a big heart, thinking of others besides myself, and discipline. I want to talk about some things that you're going to have to change. I don't want to hear anything like, well, that's just who I am. That's just me. They have to accept it. Like, this is who I am. I was born like this. My mom was like this. My grandma was like this. This is who I am. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's absolutely unacceptable. Who do you need to change? What do you need to change about yourself to become who you want to be? Because this old me that I was holding on to wasn't going to allow for the new me to be a part of my life. And the new me was the one that needed to take me to my purpose and the vision for my life. So I want you to take some time. You can actually pause this. You will have a copy of the old you versus the new you worksheet that was emailed to you. I want you to take some time to think about that right now. The old you versus the new you. Who do you need to become? Think about it. And we all know. We all know. We all know what's wrong with us. We can all diagnose ourselves. We can all say, okay, these are the things that I need to fix. The question is, are you going to fix them? Or are you going to talk about them? I can almost guarantee that if you are continuing on in this session and in these segments, you're going to do what's necessary. You're not going to just talk about it. You're going to make some changes. So go ahead and take some time to fill that out. I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause while you do that. Okay, we're going to keep going. So we talked a little bit about who did I have to become. And I want you to obviously, I'm going to revert all of this back to you. This is who I had to become, but who do you need to become? I started waking up at 3:30 a.m. to start my day. And I made myself uncomfortable by spending time with people that knew more than I did. I was not the sharpest knife in the drawer anymore. I stopped self-sabotaging myself. Self-sabotaging myself. It's called self-sabotage. It's the things that you do to yourself. It's the things that you say to yourself. It's the voices that you allow to play in your head every time you decide to move forward. And I'm telling you, we all have to deal with self-sabotage, right? Self-sabotage is the reason why you procrastinate. Self-sabotage is the reason that you deny yourself and put yourself last while you take care of everyone else. Self-sabotage is the reason why you have been stuck because you're afraid that you don't know enough. You're afraid that you don't know the right people. You're afraid that people will not take you seriously. They won't buy your products. They won't come to your events. There's so many reasons that you've told yourself why you can't be successful. But I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. That's a lie. And it's time for you to stop self-sabotaging yourself, okay? I had to stop allowing fear to keep me stuck. I stopped explaining myself and my decisions to everyone. Woo, 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 woo. That's a big one right there. How many people, every time you decide to do something, they like, why are you doing it? Why? Why do you think you can do that? Who gave you permission to do that? You don't need permission to live your purpose. You don't need permission to live your purpose, okay? So stop explaining yourself to everyone else. This is your dream and your vision. No one else is going to get it but you. No one else is supposed to get it but you. I stopped waiting for handouts and free stuff. That's a good one because we always kind of, well, I don't even say we always. Sometimes people just want stuff that's free. You ever notice that if, the little restaurants send out a free meal, or they say, it's free French fries day in the line is wrapped around the street with something that will literally cost you 99 cents to pay. That is a poverty mentality. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I have to call it what it is. Stop expecting everything to be free. Everything that's worth it, you may need to pay for. There's some things in life that are free. That's great. That's love and life and the things that, that God gives to us. But everything else you're going to have to pay for. So stop waiting for free stuff. I stopped feeling guilty about pursuing my purpose. Have you ever been around people that make you feel like you dream too big? Like, you play small when you get around them because you don't want to embarrass them and you don't want to hurt their feelings. Child, you better stop. I stopped feeling guilty about pursuing my purpose, and I stopped rehearsing my failures because I had so many of them. I had to learn to let them go. I stopped trying to figure everything out and I left it in the hands of God. I accepted the fact that as smart as I was, I did not have all the answers. Ladies, that's for you smart women out there that think you have all the answers for everything. You don't. The other thing is I asked for help and I got out of my own way. Who did I have to become? So let's take a little bit of time to think about, who do you need to become? Who do you need to become? Who do you need to become? What do you need? We talked about some of the things that you need to change about yourself, the old you versus the new you. And I don't mean change as in physical appearance and cosmetic things. I'm talking about that inner soul, that those inner things that are on the inside of you, those inner thoughts, those inner things that only you know about. What do you need to change about you? Go ahead and write it down. I want you to make a commitment to yourself that the things that have kept you stuck are not going to keep you stuck any longer. So go ahead right now, take a little time, and I want you to write out, what do I need to change about me? I want to give you a little bit of time because I know that can be real serious. What do you need to change about you? And these things you can go back to. I know I'm giving you, 2 to 3 minutes to fill this out, but this may be things that you need to think about in your quiet time, your quiet setting that you have every single day. You heard me, that quiet time you have every single day. It is a requirement that you sit and you have time to be quiet, to listen, to meditate, to pray. It's required that you take that time. Okay. So what do you see? What do you see about yourself? Do you see yourself as being great? Or do you see yourself as somebody that has just, made a lot of mistakes? Or do you see someone that has watched life pass them by? Or do you see yourself as someone that says, you know what, I want to go big, but maybe big is not for me? Or do you see yourself as, I can do all things? I am greatness. I want you to say that. Repeat that after me. I am greatness. I am greatness. I am greatness. Your greatness. You are greatness. You are fearfully and wonderfully made just the way you are. So let's start getting into the nitty gritty of what we're here to do. I want to teach you how to put your oxygen mask on first. No guilt, no apologies, no excuses. You see, just like they teach them or they teach us when we fly in an airplane. You see, there is a kid sitting next to her. You see that first picture to the left? There's a kid sitting next to her. But she's required to put her oxygen mask first. See, number 2 and number 3. And then in number 4, she puts his oxygen mask on first. And that's not because she wants him to die. She doesn't want him to die, but she has to save herself first. She needs to put her oxygen mask on first. So we're going to be talking about what that looks like. And while we're doing that, we're going to learn how to, once you save yourself, then you can help save someone else. Okay. Then you can help save your family, and then you can help save your friends, and then you can help save, your clients or your coworkers. But you're going to learn how to put your oxygen mask on first. So as we are working on kicking overwhelmed, overworked, and over it in the butt, we are going to do that in 2018. We're going to kick overwhelmed, overworked, and over it in the butt. Because when we're overwhelmed, we're overworked, and we're over it, we're not living a productive life. So I've noticed in a lot of women that I've worked with in the past, every time I ask them about why they aren't pursuing their dreams, they tell me that they don't have the time. They don't have the time to do it. They're stressed. They are tired. By the time they get home from taking care of the family, all they want to do is just fall out in exhaustion. And they're putting themselves last. So I said, nope, 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 nope. In 2018, I'm going to show you how to get yourself in order. So your life table should not look like this. You see all that food? I mean, as yummy as it looks, that's a lot of food on a table. And this is what your life is looking like. Your life is looking like this. It's just so much. It's gluttony, right? It's actually, the more I look at it, the more it's starting to hurt my stomach because there's too much food. Too much food. Take some of this stuff off your plate. Take some of the things, and you say, okay, well, what's on my plate, Sherry? Well, that may be family, like 50 activities that your kids are involved in. That may be your community organizations that you serve on 4 different boards. That may be your church. You feel you need to be there every single night of the week. That may be your job that you don't know how to leave. When you get off at 5, you go back and you still work until 11 o'clock at night. That could be anything. You know what's on your plate. But what I am telling you that in 2018, and I keep saying that because I really want you to understand this. In 2018, you're going to have to clear some of that stuff. At least half of that stuff needs to go. So in your evaluation time, I want you to think about, and I want you to write down, what are some of the things on your plate, your life plate, your life table that you need to clean off, that you need to get rid of. Let's have this accountability and this honest talk. What do you need to stop doing? Do you work 2 jobs? Do you work 3 jobs? Do you feel that, you not have any balance at home? You feel you need to cook a home-cooked meal every night. And I'm not trying to stir up any trouble in anybody's home. But what I'm saying is, as you're pursuing your dreams, there are certain things that have to align in order to support it. So like my home, for example. My husband and I, we have to take turns with things. We have small children. So there are days that I can be late, and there are days that I need him to pitch in, to make sure that I'm able to cover like this conference call. This is at 7 o'clock at night, and I have little children, and they have to eat dinner and they have to go to sleep. So we have a team system here. So if you don't have a team system, that's fine. Work where you are. Do what you can with what you have. But in the meantime, stop putting so much over yourself that you're stressing yourself out. You're stressing yourself out and you're not being productive. So we're going to talk about, and we're not going to go into a whole lot tonight. We're definitely going to do this in one of our other weekly segments. But we're going to talk about how to say no. I can't do that today. That's the same as no. I wish you would have told me sooner. I already have plans. I would love to, just not today. I'm busy. No, 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 no. Anything that does not take you closer to your purpose, we're going to have to learn how to say no. No, no. We talked about putting on our big girl panties at the beginning. I'm going through these pretty quickly because we are going to be spending a lot of time with these over the course of the next 12 weeks as we're building out your program. I'm going to bring this picture up often because every time you go to complain about it and every time you tell me you can't get this done in a week or you can't get these assignments back to me or, something came on, I'm like, put your big girl panties on. And it doesn't mean you're fat. No, no, no. Those are those big panties. Those big panties that, that you're comfortable in, right? But they put them on. Put them on. So who do we need to become? What am I willing to sacrifice? Am I clear about the vision? Are some of the things that we need to be clear with? And I want you to fill out those questions for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of writing with you in this first 2 to 3 segments because I need to get everything that's in your mind out on paper. Who do I need to become? What am I willing to sacrifice? Am I clear about the vision? So we talked a little bit earlier about who do you need to become, but what are you willing to sacrifice? Success equals sacrifice. Success means there's some things that you're just not going to be able to do until you get to where you need to get. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice, I don't know, going out? You know, this was a sacrifice, I'm sure, for you to do this coaching program, to pay for this coaching program. I have to sacrifice to pay for the coaching programs that I'm in. I understand. But what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to the next level? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to become to get to the next level? So write that down. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? The TV time? Hanging out on the weekends? Money? What are you willing to sacrifice? And are you clear about the vision? And that's okay if you're not clear about the vision. If you are clear about the vision, great. You're already a step ahead of this. But if you're not clear about the vision, we'll be getting clarity about it. I also want to talk about what's been standing in your way. In order for this program to be successful, I got to know what's been standing in your way. And don't be vague and just say me. I've been standing in my way. Now give me something a little bit more concrete. What's been standing in your way? Have you had a chance to write that down yet? And are you ready to release it? Like, oh, this is just the way I am, and this is the way that I've always been. Are you willing to release it? Because if you know if it's something that's been holding you back, it should be easy for you to let it go. It should be easy for you to let it go, because if you don't like the results that you're getting, step away from it. Are you willing to release it? Now, I'm not telling you to leave your home and leave your children because you're like, well, they've been standing in my way. No, no. It's usually not a person standing in your way unless you allow them in that role to stand in your way. So what about you has been standing in your way? Are you willing to release it? And are you willing to get the necessary help? So let's talk about commitment. Commitment is going to be required for these next 12 weeks that we spend together. What are you willing to commit to? Are you willing to commit to doing all the segments that I send you when I send them to you? Are you willing to commit to being on these calls weekly? Are you willing to commit to actively participating in the change that you're looking for in your life? Are you willing to commit to that? Because it's going to be very necessary. So I want you to take some time to write out, what are you willing to commit to? So before we wrap up this segment on today, I want you to go through all of the different slides that we talked about. I want you to write out the answers and get really clear about what this next 12 weeks needs to look like for you. I want you to get a clear understanding of where your life needs to go. So before we head out for the evening, I want to do my visualization exercise with you, because in order for you to go to the next level, you have to know where you're going. So are you envisioning where you want to go, what you're going to do? Let's talk about the woman that you need to become in the process. Let's close your eyes, and I want you to see yourself in the future. I want you to close your eyes. First of all, let's go ahead and breathe in. Let it out. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now I want you to see yourself in the future. I want you to see where you are right now. Are you working for yourself full time? Are you in corporate America? Where are you? What does your day to day look like? Are you relaxing at a beach somewhere? What does your day to day look like? And I want you to see her right now. I want you to see her hair. I want you to see her figure, her shape. I want you to see her clothes all the way down to her shoes. Now, I want you to see yourself as you walk to your car. You see your car, you see the color, you see the interior of the car. You go ahead and open the door and get in the car. You turn it on. Now you start driving down the street. You're driving, you're driving, you're driving. You're listening to your music. Your head is moving. You're enjoying life. You're about 1 minute away from your home. You see the scenery outside as you start to pull up to your home, and I want you to now see your home. What does it look like? Are you pulling up to a circular driveway? Are you pulling up to a condominium with a doorman? What are you doing? What does that home, that dream home, look like? And I want you to breathe in again and breathe out. Now you just pulled up to your home. You're getting out. You're opening the door. And you're going inside. And I want you to look around. I want you to turn around and look at every single thing in the house. Now open your eyes. I want you to write down what you saw, that experience. I want you to write down how you felt. I want you to write down what you saw in your future, and I want you to write that down. Because that is the vision. That's what we're working towards. And I want you to share that with me. I want you to share that with me. That is the vision. This is why we're doing what we're doing. So that you can be able to live the life that you want to live, that you will live the life, whether it's a simple life or whether it's a lavish life, but it's still a life of freedom. Ultimately, freedom is what we're looking for. So we're going to get back together on next week. In the meantime, you will be getting an email from me with a follow-up with everything that you will have to work on for these next couple of days. As well as we need to go ahead and when we have our first conversation, we need to have our first conversation with that homework that's done. I want to go through the notes and the things that's on that homework. So we're going to walk through this together. We're going to learn some things together. We're going to do some things together, and we're going to have a great time. So I'm excited about this 12 weeks. I'm excited about what this looks like for us. I'm excited about you. I'm excited about your life. I'm excited about what this looks like for you. I'm excited that you are finally going to live the life of your dreams. So I thank you for allowing me for another segment to pour into you today. Be sure to listen to this. Be sure to share. Be sure to walk this life out every single day. I'm not going to allow you to revert back to the old you. This is the new improved year, and your fearless life starts now. Thank you so much for joining us for week number 1. You have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Bye-bye.